I spent about 45 minutes in an Algebra 1 inclusion classroom where they were learning about how to do transformations of a line. It wasn't exactly what I thought was going to happen because the teacher of record ended up having to leave to go pick up a sick child, so there was only one teacher there that day. But that's kind of what happens in a classroom. You don't always know what's gonna go on in the afternoon when you start out in the morning. So all that was present was the inclusion teacher. They had previously learned how to do transformations of a line, and today's lesson was just a continuation of that activity. They got to class and they had to get out a foldable that the teacher had already prepared for them to take notes on, and the students were sitting at tables and they each had a learning partner. The teacher reminded them of the end of the 6 weeks coming up and makeup work that needed to be due and when they could do makeup test, and then she got into the lesson. So they started the lesson and the teacher showed them how to do some of the activities, and then they did it together. There wasn't a whole lot of discussion with the kids. They were just mostly watching what the teacher was doing. Some of the students were engaged, some of them were not. Some of them were texting, some of them were not paying attention. There was a lot of different things going on in the classroom. It seemed to be that the students in the front of the room were more engaged than the students in the back of the room. The teacher had originally told me she was going to use partner work, sharing information with each other, but that didn't happen either. And I think probably it was because there was a change in plans for the teacher. The inclusion teacher isn't always used to being the one who's presenting the information. I think it went well. The kids received the information pretty well. Like I said, a couple of them seemed to be a little bit distracted. Maybe what I would change is to spend a little bit more time letting the kids work out the problems with each other instead of just observing the teacher doing the problems. They spent a lot of time entering the activities into a calculator, and I'm not real sure that they know what actually is going on with the line transformations. Some surprising information that I learned is that kids are frequently distracted. They don't spend all their time paying attention to the teacher, so the teacher does need to walk around the room. When you're using an Elmo in the front of the room, you tend to stay there and not spend time in the back of the room or checking on the kids back in the corners, so you do need to move around a little bit more. So this experience will transform my practice as a school administrator because I think I will spend as much time as I can in the classroom. I don't want to spend my time in my office. I want to be out learning and seeing what's going on and being able to give constructive feedback, but also know that sometimes things happen and teachers have to go home or kids get sick, and so you just kind of have to learn how to be flexible and know that everybody's doing the best thing that they can do at the time. It was a great experience, and I look forward to seeing more activities.